The last thing I want to touch on is the boundary standpoint. I saw one of your posts not that long ago about this and thought it was so great. And I thought the way that you communicated about it was profound. And so part of what you said in that post was oftentimes if you're not good at saying no, or you're a people pleaser, you have people pleasing type tendencies, you said that you oftentimes lack communication skills or style when it comes to communicating honestly when it's uncomfortable. And so talk to us about if somebody is a people pleaser and they do lack that communication ability or communication style, how can you work on practicing getting reps in on improving that?
Mm. Yeah. And to frame this up real fast, I
Yeah,
was
for
the
sure.
worst people pleaser ever. I mean, it destroyed my life. I lost everything. Like it was really, really bad. And so I had to go on a massive healing journey with this one. Lots of coaches, lots of mentors, lots of courses, lots of books, like lots of practice. And yes, what I'm saying is like, let's take somebody who is like a leader, somebody you can think of like, wow, that person's like an incredible leader. How does that person show up when they have to say no to somebody? Oh, hey, excuse me, Jim, like, we're really hoping you could invest in this project we're working on. Like that guy, Jim, has skills on saying no. Hey man, that is so awesome you're doing that. Like, why don't you go ahead and submit this, and we'll review it and let you know. Like, it's just this very skilled way of being. A people pleaser who basically feels like I'm not okay unless you're okay.
Mm.
Or if I say no and you're sad, that's somehow my responsibility, and all that stuff's been happening forever. And you realize, and you're coming out of this, literally practice out loud. Literally practice out loud. So if somebody texts you and says, hey, can you help us with this project? Before you text them back, practice out loud how you want to respond. Don't over explain yourself. They don't need to know about your mom's ankle and you have to go make her dinner on Thursday night and blah, blah. Like, they don't need to know any of that. Right. People pleasers always, you get the longest text ever. Right. So practice saying like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the invite. I so wish I could. I can't on Thursday. Let me know next time. Right. Something simple like that. And then practice saying it out loud so you get the inflection in your voice. Oh man, that sounds super fun. Thank you so much. I so wish I could. I can't. Will you please let me know next if that's true for you that you want to know next time? Don't say that if it's not true for you, because now you get
Yeah.
yourself in one of those conundrums,
Mm.
right? Because you lied, because people pleasers lie to help other people feel better and like them more, right? So be honest, but practice with small things. Practice with the small things so much. Start practice getting identified with what you want and don't want. I'll give you a definition of boundaries that I have memorized. On my podcast, I had Terry Cole. She is like an international expert on this. And I asked her right out of the gate, can you give me a definition of boundaries? And she said, boundaries are knowing what your preferences, desires, limits, and deal breakers are, and being able to communicate them clearly and concisely with anyone. Ugh, I use
Mm.
that all the time in my coaching. That's why I got to memorize. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll literally take people through the process. I'm like, what are your preferences and desires here? What are your limits and deal breakers here? Okay. So your job this week is to communicate that with your husband, that this is what you prefer. This is what you desire.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. What is